Well, leading into the race, it was described as one of the most open fields in the 11-year history of the event. Last night, the Bankstown Paceway played host to its feature race of the year, the $200,000 Treuer Memorial. And to tell us how that race panned out, our harness racing expert, Adam Hamilton. Adam, I suppose our Savancelot really made up for being the surprise omission from the field in the Miracle Mile.
Yeah, it was a very content Brian Hancock after the race, really proving his point. He came back to scale and he said, do you think the Harold Park officials saw that one? So obviously a bit of a point to prove there, no doubt about that. We did speak in depth about how the horse should have been in the Miracle Mile field, and boy, hasn't he proven that since.
Yeah. Il Vocolo, a disappointment?
Absolutely. He was the red-hot favourite last night, expected to really dominate the race on the strength of his strong second to Iroquois in the Miracle Mile, but it wasn't to be. And questions now have to be asked about Il Vocolo, particularly, David, on his ability to back up after a hard run the previous week.
Talking about Iroquois, we'll see the great champion New Zealand back in the new year here in Australia, I believe.
That's right. He's all targets are now on the Melbourne Summer Carnival. It's looking tremendous. Here we can pick up some vision of the Treuer Memorial run at Bankstown last night. We can see in front is Norm's Daughter, and the controversy surrounding the race, David, was the drive of Ricky Thurlow on Tibet, the North American import, sitting outside the leader here. And Tibet, who can get up on the steel or start to pull and race very fiercely in his events. You can see here he's just given no peace at all to Norm's Daughter in front. Explaining after the race, Ricky, who's only a very small little chap, had quite a few problems trying to hold Tibet together on the outside and hold him back to the field. You can see Norm's Daughter, who was surprised by holding the lead. Most expected young Mr. Charles would do that, but here you can see, I mean, there's more than a lap to go here, and Tibet's really serving it up to Norm's Daughter in front. I think you can see back in the field, second last, in fact, is Brian Hancock. He's in the orange and black checks with only Island Glow behind him. Island Glow puts in a tremendous run, but trying to sum it up here, really, David, it's just Brian Hancock. He's an absolute genius, this man. You can see him finding his way into the race here. Il Vocolo making his run. Most expected, there he is, 4 and 5 wide, Il Vocolo. Most expected he'd round them up at this stage. But just watch for Brian Hancock pushing up in between runners. Those orange and black checks, wait for him to emerge. Let's pick up the call.
Colo is the widest runner, but he's still coming. And our Savancelot's right onto his back. He's going to be hard to hold off around the turn. Norm's Daughter, the leader. Late Bed's getting out now and going after him. Il Vocolo can't get to them. And now our Savancelot. It's Norm's Daughter in front. Our Savancelot and Late Bed. But oh boy, is he good, our Savancelot. He's gathered them in and away he goes from Late Bed and Norm's Daughter. Savancelot, a brilliant winner.
Yeah, the Treuer Memorial last night at Bankstown, our Savancelot from Late Bed and Norm's Daughter. Does that make a mockery of the 6 that took the field in the Miracle Mile?
It probably raises a few doubts about a couple of the runners. I think we spoke a lot about Manaville being included in the Miracle Mile field, and he's a very smart horse, Manaville. He'll turn out to be a Grand Circuit
The average
horse.
person out there, Adam, would look and say, right, it ran a race record at Harold Park to qualify for the Miracle Mile. So,
yes, absolutely. He then came out in a really what we call a consolation of the Miracle Mile, and he ran a world record time last week. He's then come out and beaten all bar Iroquois, really, of who went around in the Miracle Mile. So I think Harold Park will probably learn a lesson. There's some balance between creating controversy and being a little bit irresponsible and leaving out a super winning chance in the race.
Okay, we had the Vicbred Sires final last night at Moonee Valley for the 4-year-old mares. What were your thoughts on that one?
Well, what can we say? The powerful Noel Alexander, Chris Alford team have done it again, but on a complete outsider this time. Glitz, not expected to have much of a chance in the race at all, to be honest.
Starting at 9 to 1.
Yeah, incredible. Probably only because she comes from the Alexander stable. She was that short. I must admit I didn't give her much of a winning chance at all. But
what about the run of the favourite?
Yeah, Smooth Leander, a tremendous performance. Nothing really went right for her in the middle stages. In front is Missing Charm, who was a strongly fancied second favourite. Outside of her is Vivacious Hanover. There's Smooth Leander. We just caught her. She's carrying the red and purple colours. She settles into the 1-1 sit. And there now we can see back in the field, you'll see Glitz. In fact, we're going right back there. She's running third last at this stage, Glitz. She carries the green colours of the Alexander stable, but the second set of colours with the yellow stripes on the sleeves, we'll watch for her to emerge.
Fair to say the lighting a little bit better at Moonee Valley than Bankstown too.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Well, Moonee Valley will be happy to hear that. They've spent plenty on lighting, and they're going to need to, because all the stars will be in action during the summer carnival, and we'll get onto that a bit later. But Vivacious Hanover outside the leader. Now the moves come. This is Stephen Dove on Diamond Guitar making his run around the field. And not to be pocketed here, Graham Watts just eases to the outside on Smooth Leander there. We said those purple and red colours. And the race is really on in earnest here. These three favourites really up running 1, 2, 3 now at this stage. They just set it up for someone sitting back in the field. They just go too hard down the back here. You probably can't blame Smooth Leander's driver, Graham Watts, because Smooth Leander still runs second, but they run a blistering 28.1 second quarter down the back.
Yeah, where is Glitz right now?
Glitz is running about 7th or 8th on the outside. You can see her about to come 4 wide. Here's Chris Elford starting his run now. Let's pick up Danny Malecki's call, and all honours, I think, go to Chris Elford, the driver.
Vivacious Hanover, Smooth Leander's under the whip. Glitz is wide out and still running on. No run, Karingaming turning for home. Missing time, Vivacious Hanover. Karingaming is getting out. Glitz is starting to storm home. Missing time, Vivacious Hanover. Here is Glitz. Smooth Leander rallying. Glitz has hit the lead. Glitz and Chris Elford again. Glitz wins it. Glitz first has beaten Smooth Leander.
Yes, Glitz beating the favourite there, Smooth Leander, starting at 9 to 1 and finishing in great gusto.
Certainly, that was one of 3 winners for Chris Elford last night at Moonee Valley, and one of 4 winners for trainer Noel Alexander. So it probably winds up a tremendous year for that stable and driver. It's been a huge season, and of course they have their superstar Golden Rain back on track. He disappointed first up, the Inter-Dominion winner at Ballarat on Tuesday, but he'll get a lot fitter, and I'm sure when we come back in the new year, I'll have some great news on Golden Rain.
OK, what does the summer hold for us?
Absolutely wonderful racing. Moonee Valley, the Summer Carnival, looks to be the best ever by a long, long way, no doubt about that. And it leads into the Adelaide Inter-Dominion. The action will really hot up at Moonee Valley from about the middle of January onwards, and we get to the Victoria Cup on February 1. The Hunter Cup on February 15, then the Inter-Dominion starts in early March.
Well, this is the last show of the year, so time to reflect on a terrific year of harness racing. What has been the highlight for you?
I think a couple of highlights. Obviously, unearthing Iroquois so late in the year. He is going to be a wonderful horse in harness racing. Every sport needs its heroes, and harness racing's got one in Iroquois, and I think we're going to see a lot of him in the new year. And
earlier in the year, probably the fairy tale of Norm's Daughter in the delayed Inter-Dominion?
That's the one we spoke about, yeah. Norm's Daughter's win at Harold Park back in June was wonderful. That, to me, would be the magic moment of harness racing. And perhaps also Mark Purden's complete dominance, going right back to the previous Summer Carnival back in February. He just made that carnival his own, Mark Purden, and he's threatening to do it again this year. If it's not him, it'll be some of the Kiwis, because, as we've spoken about here so often on Sports World, they've just got the wood on us in harness racing at the moment. Well,
it's been great fun having you on to discuss harness racing right through the year. Have a very good Christmas. Look forward to that Summer Carnival at Moonee Valley.
We certainly will. We might be able to bring perhaps some delayed Christmas presents in the new year.
That's terrific. Adam Hamilton recapping on the big action at Bankstown and Moonee Valley last night. More to come on Sports World, so don't go away.